It's time. It's time for serial viewing! Episode 32. This week we have watched Babar. Babar was a cartoon show that ran from 1989 to 2002 for a total of 6 seasons and 78 episodes. Based on the 1931 book by Jean de Boonhoff, Babar follows the adventures of the King of the Elephants, his family and friends. We watched Series 1, Episode 1, titled Babar's First Step. Babar, the King of the Elephants, tells his children the story of his early life, and it was changed after his mother was killed by a hunter. Heartbreak. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hello, Jeremy.
What's up, my grey-skinned, overgrown cows?
Who... amazing technological advances with no opposable thumbs. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. They got trunks.
Who chose this one? It wasn't me.
I think this one's mine.
Why did you choose Babar, Jennifer?
Because it was one of my favourites. When I don't so much remember it when I was little. I remember it when the children were little. But, yes.
I remember watching Babar, but I don't remember this. I didn't know the origin story. I don't remember.
No, I don't remember this one either. If I'd have known I was going to need the tissues for that,
That was harsh.
I remember watching Babar, but I don't remember watching Babar. The music put me right into it, and then that was it. I had no idea what to expect. The fact that he told a story felt similar, but I didn't quite.
The first couple of series are him telling the story.
Okay.
I think it's 2 or 3 series. It's him telling the story of how Celesteville came to be and how he came to be king and the rest of that and all the adventures. And then after that, it changes slightly.
Good.
And it's stuff happening in the moment, as it were.
That needs some bloody explaining. How did they go from a nomadic tribal group into forming a 21st century civilization feudal kingdom?
Very Western.
Yeah.
Well, that gets explained as it goes through.
Good.
So in this episode, we meet Babar just not long after he's born, and they name him, and then a hunter shows up, and of course humans are bad, and his mum gets shot and dies in a shocking... I was shocked anyway. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
In a shocking turn of events. And then we follow Babar as he defeats the hunter, and he's separated from his tribe.
Yeah.
Elephants died. I wasn't prepared for that.
How many elephants died during the making of this program?
Well, I saw 2 dead elephants at least.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just a bang off screen and then we cut to, oh, I'm wounded. It was bang, elephant crashing down, skidding across the floor.
Yeah.
I said, it's very dark for a child's cartoon.
Yeah,
but it was written in 1931 and there was different sensibilities, and death is a part of life and humans are bad.
Notice the lack of bullet wounds, though.
Yeah, there was
That's in the director's cut?
Yeah. The Zack Schneider version.
No, the Quentin Tarantino version, there's just like blood spraying everywhere. Babar reappears and paints paints bloody lines on his face and stomps on the hunt.
Elephants dueling with katanas.
She comes back as a vampire elephant.
Yeah.
That's a Quentin Tarantino twist. Man, she kicked some butt though before she died.
Evil mama.
Babar kicks some butt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Before.
We both did.
Mm-hmm.
I did point out, I remember Cornelius. I remember him specifically.
Yeah.
Well, I remember them all, but I didn't realise that he was always old. I mean, he was literally...
And always wore glasses.
Yeah.
Who gave the elephant an eye test? Did another elephant give him the eye test?
One of them was wearing a monocle.
Oh, that's Pompadour.
Maybe they came across the giraffe from Madagascar, because he's a Dr. Giraffe, and he sorted him some glasses out. On
crossover.
Prescribed him glasses.
we need a crossover. I need the penguins to show up and sort out the problem.
Hey, that's probably how they built their city.
Yeah.
With the help of the penguins.
Proto-Savannah.
So, Babar is separate in this episode. He's separated from the herd. It's a herd of elephants, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the herd
flock.
A flump of elephants.
Well, in this case, a murder of elephants.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he meets the old lady, who we see briefly in the opening credits. And she's the one that takes him in and teaches him Western colonial values.
Colonial values.
and teaches him the shame of being naked and he should wear clothes. It's just shameful. Which is where he gets his Western ideas from and his very civilizing ideas. Although, one of my notes, they managed to go from as you put, a tribe to a fully functioning modern civilization in a generation. I mean, that's really impressive. But with no thumbs.
Still, to see that they're using an absolute monarchy, that's not going to cut it.
It is an absolutist monarchy. He is advised by a series of councillors, but he is the ultimate authority. He's a benevolent dictatorship.
Authoritarian. Honestly.
Well, French author Laurent de Brunhoff, I'm murdering that, I guarantee you. He actually pronounced the name as Babar, not Babar.
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 So they went with Babar for the TV series for reasons.
Easier for Americans to pronounce.
It's not even that. I think they just looked at the phonetic spelling of it and went, yes, Babar.
Yeah.
So I was today years old when I realised it was Babar, not Babar.
Babar.
Yeah. It's Babar.
Babar, yeah. I keep calling it Babar, but it's Babar.
It's Babar, not Babar.
Babar.
They even say Babar. They don't say Babar.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I thought it was Babar. I even searched Babar the elephant and couldn't understand why it didn't come up.
Oh, I had the spelling right. I'm just not pronouncing it right.
No, I thought it was Babar.
I did write it as Babar too.
I pronounced it wrong in the intro. So there you go. I blame television and its insidious influence. Did anyone else think that Babar sounded like Sam Neill?
I thought he sounded like Pierce Brosnan.
Oh no, he sounded like the dude from Jurassic Park to me.
I don't know.
He didn't sound like him, but he did sound like somebody famous. I had to go and look up to see who it was, and I mean, he is, as a TV actor, but I've never really seen him. But yeah, he's got quite a distinctive voice.
Yes, yeah. Well, not that distinctive. He sounds like Sam Neill.
I think he sounds like Pierce Brosnan.
I didn't think he sounded like either of those.
Well, there you go then. It's not distinctive if we thought he sounded like other people.
That's true. I thought who was the king before Babar? He sounded like he was someone famous.
I don't know. He had a crown and everything, which again, why would they need a crown?
I don't.
Who made the crown of the elephant?
That might be for children, Henry.
I was going to say that's for the children, so they know.
Do you reckon there are elephant metalsmiths?
Well, there must be. Because so
they're in Bronze Age society.
One of the main reasons I remember Babar the elephant is because later on they have a war.
They do,
and me being the fascinated by military warmongering child that I was, I remember that quite clearly. So they have a war with the rhinos. Yeah.
Oh.
So they have a modern military. So yeah, they have metal workers.
Wait, so he has a war with the rhinos as Babar's kingdom or the story kingdom?
Babar's kingdom.
Oh wow.
Babar's kingdom.
He's Babar.
When he's king. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Because the hunter is the main protagonist in the first couple of series, and then I think someone sits on him in the end, and then it kind of switches to the rhinos being they were the bad guys, but you could reason with them. They could be quite unreasonable, but
maybe there was foreshadowing then, because that tree trunk that he kept, I don't know, abusing, looked a bit like a rhino.
Can someone explain the tree trunk to me?
I don't know. I feel like he was. I thought originally he was some sort of he's going through puberty, and rhinos, they like to charge up against trees if they don't have anybody else to charge against. Maybe
your theory is he was horny and he needed to get the aggression out.
Yeah, and then he got sad and he needed to get the aggression out. So he's an angsty teen.
I was going to say, I just think it was stubbornness. It annoyed him that it was there, and then he couldn't get it out. So it was just.
He couldn't get it out, and so he resorted to relaying his grief through anger and broke it.
Yeah, but then he was able to use it to trap the hunter.
Teaching kids that being angry after you lose someone is okay.
Of course it is. It's one of the stages of grief.
Yeah, but taking it out on people.
He's not taking it out on people. He took it out on a dead lump of wood.
I still don't think it's a good idea to start hitting random things if you're grieving.
No, if you could hit a random boxing sack to get the anger out. Surely that's better than hitting people. You've got to get the anger out. You can't keep it in because that's what makes you psychotic in later years.
Yeah, also, but
get the anger out.
Nobody spoke to him. It'll make you psychotic in later years. That's not.
No. If you bury the anger, I'm talking about.
Nobody spoke to him. Though. That's like they were all like, "Leave him alone," and like then he just hit it in the end of the day.
So one of the other child elephants that he's playing with is the girl called Celeste.
Celeste.
They wrap their trunks around and who he later marries and has children with, and he names the elephant city Celesteville.
Yep.
Yeah, she's his cousin.
Oh yeah. Wait, why?
She's his. It's canon. I found it in my research.
I did get a bit confused with that because in the intro they say it's Uncle Arthur. And Arthur was the kid, and I was like, okay, so it should be like her brother.
Yeah, Arthur is her brother.
Yeah,
but then they are cousins.
In reality, it's still his cousin.
Yeah. Uncle cousin.
Yeah, it's nature, I guess.
Sister wife.
They're
and
elephants. It's a herd of elephants. They all,
Cannot overstate how huge Babar and his franchise is. Has been shown in 150 countries in 30 different languages. The waves upon waves of merchandising. I didn't say this was made. This was another. It seems to be quite a powerhouse for children's television. This is another Canadian production.
Oh, okay.
Another one. Can anyone tell me the connection between Babar and high fashion?
They named a dress after Babar.
No, Jennifer?
No,
okay. So Babar likes to wear a very sharp green suit. I'm sure you noticed in the things. When he is civilized, when he's talked about, he actually introduces a very French form of Western civilization, and then all the other elephants copy him because he's the one that's first one to start wearing clothing. The attention to style in the show is possibly a reflection that the original publisher of the 1931 books was the Editions du Jardin des Modes, which was owned by Condé Nast. The Babar books were the first Condé Nast publications not specifically about fashion. They were a fashion publication house who took on Babar.
Right, I see.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When did this happen, sorry? What?
1931.
Oh, so this was... Wow, okay.
Yeah. The show, and I'd like to know your opinions on this, but the show came under... The books and the show came under some criticism, so much so that the books were occasionally banned from libraries due to negative representations of Africans. I don't get that one. And the civilizing Western influences were seen as a commentary on French colonialism or neocolonialism and its benefit to the savages.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
Yeah, I could get that.
Yeah, I see all of that.
But do you agree with it? Is that someone reaching for that? I mean, it was written in 1931, so French colonialism was a thing.
I reckon that was probably written with it not in mind, but like that viewpoint based on the fact that it is that time France is still been very, I don't know, like proud of its empire. And I don't think this American cartoon was at all I don't even think that was thought about or even known about when they made it, based on the fact that they deliberately made the poacher white And I mean, it was based on Victorian, like, you know, like he was wearing the whole Victorian guard, like a Victorian thing, and I see that, but like they could so easily have just made it like a native African from Kenya or something. I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is what they mostly are now, but back then.
Do you think it deserves to be amended or banned though? He was writing it in 1931 when this was the world he knew. I'm not defending him, but this was the world he knew, so he was writing what he knew.
Yeah. I mean...
I don't think he was trying to propagate a political or philosophical standpoint.
No, but then I don't think any literary book should be banned.
Yeah.
I think they should all be... You should be allowed to make your own opinion of it. As this was written in the 30s, this shows us the style and the critique of the 30s. So it is still a historical document. It's like Rudyard Kipling. I mean, honestly,
that's true. Yeah, like the Jungle Book is very similar.
his were very colonialist, and they were very racist. Yet they're still there. It's just the time that they're written in. Mm-hmm. So they're not portraying it as a teaching method. It's just that's the way they were written.
Yeah, and
Enid Blyton still gets moaned at, and every now and again somebody gets their knickers in a twist about it, and then somebody else will go, "But it's a book." All books should, you know, apart from obvious ones where, you know, they're teaching how to be Jimmy Savile or something really horrid.
Mein Kampf came out in the 30s as well.
Yeah.
But
when's the cartoon adaptation of that?
No, I was thinking like, I've lost it. I've lost my train of thought. That's really annoying. God damn it, Henry.
Sorry.
I was gonna say something about the fact that it's passive racism, and I completely understand people's feelings of being offended by it. And you know, it is offensive at the end of the day. It's still racism, which is not okay, and it's not a reflection. It shouldn't be taught, but it definitely deserves to be made aware. And but it is definitely a reflection of the times in the historical period, and you can't forget that, because at some point throughout history, every single culture or has nationality, that's what I was going for, has been come under some sort of scrutiny or some sort of I don't know what I'm looking for.
And everything does deserve scrutiny.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean, like in the terms of like, nationalities, I think that everybody has been, what's the word I'm looking for? Where they've been repressed. Like they've been repressed by another nationality or another like things, and it was just a part of history. And as unfortunate as is that, it just is.
If you stop talking about it, then you don't learn from your mistakes.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Someone will just do it again, and it happens. Yeah. It's still happening today, and that's why we need to make effort about it.
Yeah, and if you hide it away and shun it away, you see, what you could do with your if you're that way inclined, is you read it and then you talk to your child about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that got surprisingly deep for a show about an elephant becoming king.
Yeah.
Okay, baby elephants are cute. The whole herd was very cute.
They were cute.
Apart from Cornelius.
Cornelius was cute. He was all wrinkly.
He looked like a scrotum. He wasn't cute.
He didn't look like a scrotum.
His ears were a bit.
Perhaps I should go to the doctor.
Yeah, maybe. If they're grey, Henry, you're holding them too high.
Grey with ears. That's right. Yeah. They're supposed to look like that.
A trunk.
Well. So yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say they were cute. However, every time Babar did his trunk thing, I wanted to punch the voice actor.
If
it's a kid or if it's a lady, either way.
They're getting punched.
Yeah, when he roared with his trunk.
Roar.
What is it? It sounded more like he was howling.
Yeah.
It sounded like somebody told a child to roar at the microphone, which is exactly what you got. Rah!
Yeah.
I guess with elephants, it is roaring with elephants. They do that. Growling, they do that.
Apparently, all of the children were played by child actors.
Good. I mean, I thought so. There were some moments where I thought Babar might be played by a slightly older lady, but
Jobs for children.
Yeah.
That's what we love to see.
Child labour.
So the characters Pompadour, Troubadour, Basil and Victor, I don't know who Basil and Victor are, they were characters who were specifically created for the Babar TV series, but after Babar Mango Madness in 1991, all of them apart from Pompadour disappeared.
What was Mango Madness?
I think it was just an episode. Anyone know out there? Babar, I think it's an episode. Anyway, how about in 91? They just cut them out, apparently for budget reasons.
Too many elephants on the screen at once.
Yes. Before this, I'm sure Jennifer will remember this, before this there were 2 Babar specials that were narrated by Peter Ustinov.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
They were produced by NBC. The story of Babar the Little Elephant came out in 1968, and Babar Comes to America in 1971. A made-for-television movie was released in 1986 called Babar and Father Christmas, which won a 1987 Gemini Award for Best Animated Program or Series. The show itself actually won several awards.
I think I remember the Christmas one. That's ringing bells in the back of my head. Sleigh bells. In 1989, New Line Cinema and Astral Films announced that a film adaptation of Babar was going to be released titled Babar the Movie, which was then followed by a straight-to-video sequel in 1999 called Babar King of the Elephants. Yeah. I don't remember there being a movie at all.
I may have watched them.
I mentioned that Babar is actually a huge franchise. I think it's got slightly less visibility today, but it is still a large franchise. A particular country has 12 stores dedicated to Babar. It's nothing but Babar merchandise. What country do you think would have 12 stores dedicated to a single cartoon character?
Japan.
Ding, ding, ding!
That was better than my guess.
What, Uganda?
Iran.
It was Afghanistan until recently. No, it's obviously Japan and their obsession with cartoon characters.
He's not got boobs. You can't buy Babar panties.
Rule 34.
No, I'm not doing this again.
Cute cat ears.
The elephant
ears. It needs to be done.
No.
What needs to be done?
No.
Rule.
No.
34.
No. I don't need to see that.
I won't show you. I just know. Yep, it exists. Oh my god. Can I have some eye blip? What the hell?
That or Dogtanian, Henry.
Oh my god.
I need a minute.
You need a minute. Do you want us to leave?
Oh my god, this is horrific. What is wrong with you people?
What's wrong with you? Shame. You're still looking at it.
My eyes.
It's a car crash. I can't look at it.
You've already asked for bleach twice and you're still clicking.
God. Anyway.
Lunatic.
Well, I composed myself. Jeremy, what did you think of the music? The theme music, the opening credits, and the interstitial, the background music throughout the show?
Well, the theme... I wrote down something for the last theme, the outro. I mean, well, it was all safe, very safe.
Yeah, that's the word I use.
I mean, I wrote, yeah. It does what it's supposed to do, similar to other shows that we've watched that are this is a lot more childish, or like for younger children. The story time kind of, yeah. Bar the elephants getting shot. The music reminds me a little bit of Peter Rabbit. Not Peter Rabbit, yeah. Peter and the Wolf.
Peter and the Wolf.
That's it.
I put exactly the same.
I wrote Peter Rabbit, but I meant Peter and the Wolf. Especially the outro. The intro, yeah, pretty safe, pretty standard. Very American
described
child show.
All of the music as, ooh, gentle.
I put very sing-songy, classical Peter and the Wolf.
Cool. It's like stroking an elephant.
The only problem I had was that unless there was something massively dramatic happening, like an elephant getting shot, still traumatized. You had the plinky plunky musical cues going on constantly in the background.
Yeah.
And it was really distracting and I didn't like it.
I only noticed it once, which is when I thought about Peter and the Wolf.
For me, that was the outro. It was really, really close to Peter and the Wolf.
Yeah, there was a bit going on. I don't know. There was one bit, and that's when I noticed it, and then I was like, oh.
Was it the jamming bongos during the?
It was when the kids were playing for me, because it was proper plinky plunky in the background. It's like, yeah, all right, we get it. Stop.
Yeah, but if they're not going to put that, what other music are they going to put?
Perhaps it was just the volume. Maybe just tone it down a little bit.
Maybe.
And like,
I think every single kids show or anything like it should have what Wallace and Gromit put in their background, which is the really cheesy 70s style like organ, like very
yeah, I'm okay with that.
It's just so like yeah. This show heavily reminded me of Land Before Time. Just
weird you say that.
Huh?
It's weird you say that because I just saw a Rule 34
oh god
picture with the Land Before Time and Babar. Anyway,
Land Before
really,
Time
why?
meets Kipper.
Land Before the Time, because it's kind of the same story arc.
Yeah,
the little baby one, the mum dies, he then gets split.
And and they're like the really safe then dramatic, and then like I got Kipper vibes as well, just by the way they're kind of drawn, and also the animation sluggishness. Everyone feels like they're on like LSD in Kipper. So.
No, Kipper's amazing.
Yeah, but like no, the characters.
Hey, why have we not done Kipper?
Because it's too late.
Yes, yeah.
It's 98.
It's post 95.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lame. Kipper's
Kipper
like
the
the
dog.
best cartoon ever.
Kipper is one of my favourites.
It's great.
It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
That and Pocoyo. Shout out to my Pocoyo fans out there. Well, I liked it.
It is a good show.
Nah, Kipper's best.
You liked Charlie and Lola though.
I did. I didn't mind. I quite enjoyed watching Charlie.
And In the Night Garden.
In the Night Garden is cinematic genius.
It's so weird.
I mean, get off your tits on something and watch In the Night Garden, and it'll change your life.
Advocating the use of psychedelics, Henry.
I'm not, but if you've got some, watch In the Night Garden. It'll either be life-changingly profound or the most terrifying thing you've ever seen in your life ever.
I can, yeah.
Bear in the Big Blue House is better.
Oh god.
No, it just makes you want to give him a big hug.
Oh.
These are all shows that we can't watch.
No.
Doing them with psychedelics would be crazy.
Maybe we should do a special, like a Christmas special, I don't know.
Of LSD.
There's a YouTube channel there. There's a YouTube channel there. 3 people get high and watch children's television. Yeah.
That's ours. Nobody else can take that.
Well, you can pay us if you want.
Anyway,
yeah.
Back to elephants. Pink ones.
Okay, so they get westernized, which is fine. It is what it is. And they wear suits and they build buildings and start wearing clothes and stuff. But was the crown and the eyeglasses necessary and the monocle before they did that?
Well, they all look the same then, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He still looked like a scrotum. If you take the glasses off him, he still looked like a scrotum in elephant shape.
Yeah, but he was the only one. All the rest of them were drawn exactly the same.
Pompadour wasn't.
He looked it.
No, Monocle Boy wasn't.
Yeah, he just had a monocle. That was it. I don't care how fabulous you are, a monocle is just not going to cut it.
It's hard to carry off a monocle. You're a very particular type of person to carry off a monocle, and he wasn't one.
No.
Surprisingly, no one's ever made a video game of Babar.
Surprisingly.
No? I thought there was.
Not that I can find. I'm sure there is one, but I couldn't find one, and I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
I swear I had a scratch and sniff book of Babar once.
Ugh.
Smell the elephants.
Smell the westernised elephant. Almost inevitably, in 2010, there was a computer-animated series spin-off.
Oof.
I haven't looked at it. I'm assuming it went the same way as Fireman Sam and Postman Pat and Bob the Builder, where they all become blank-eyed vessels of Satan.
I think I've seen an advert for it in America.
Probably. It was titled Babar and the Adventures of Badu, and it was launched on Disney Junior. It took place several years after the original and focused on new characters, including Badu, who was Babar's grandson and Pom's son. So there you go. It didn't last very long, as far as I can tell. Although I didn't realise that the show had lasted as long as it did. I mean, 78 episodes. I thought this wound up in the mid-early 90s, not 2002. But I suppose if you were old enough to watch it, then... yeah.
I don't know. I think it probably got praised for being as edgy as it was, but as safe as it was.
It is very safe.
Yeah, it's safe up until the point they get shot. And it deals with, like, they have a war. It deals with, like, grown-up issues. Well,
it's still learning.
Sort of.
Yeah, there's loads of learning stuff.
Really random ones.
A lot of the conflicts with the rhinos, they talk it out. They use their words.
Yeah.
Do you think this would have worked better or worse with a different animal?
I think...
kangaroos.
Elephants are safe.
Kangaroos.
I don't think you get kangaroos in Africa.
Well, obviously it would be an Australian version. Bunch of angry ass. Oi, Bruce, do you want to be king? No, I'm going to be king.
It would be kangaroos and dingoes.
Perhaps a dingo ate your baby.
Now, we all know it didn't.
I think elephants are they're so, I don't know, like, unique, yeah. They're so specific as an animal.
Yeah.
And they're very easy for kids to recognise. And
also, because their herds are very family-like.
But
and you've also...
no blokes in a elephant family.
Old blokes. No young blokes.
No blokes. Not a bloke. They're not allowed in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They're all female. And they have one bull that runs up every 6 months and gets them all pregnant.
All right, ladies.
That was something that I did... that did irk me slightly. Is that elephants in the wild are...
they're a matriarchal society. Yeah.
Matriarchal, and that's not...
Yeah.
That is a... well, patriarchal monarch,
I am offended that you are casting aspersions on our transgender king.
You're saying Babar was born a female?
He was born female and was a transgender male lesbian. Or something, I don't know.
We can't make these jokes, Henry. You know where I am.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So if you're gonna...
I didn't know that.
I did right, but that female elephants don't live in a patriarchal society. Now lions do. That if they wanted to do that, that would have made way more sense. Them being kings of the jungle.
That would have been more infanticide and.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need a kids' cartoon show where the animals they can be anthropomorphized, that's fine, but they behave as if they were wild animals. So if it's about lions, he's going to come in, take over the pride, kill the kids,
Jesus,
have sex with the females.
Yeah.
How many cubs can you count? None.
The old man just dies alone, getting eaten by hyenas.
Yeah. Who are fun,
They're what? They're guys in their 30s who show rock up at the pub.
They're fun characters who just happen to eat the last king. We're obviously talking bollocks, people. There's not really, I mean, I'm offended to say it, but there's not really a great deal to say about Babar. I know it is a beloved franchise, and it was very nice. I can see how I actually appreciate the deaths. I appreciate the reality of it. Babar's obviously grieving. I would have no problem with a young child of any age watching that, because they might be a bit, oh, he's died. And you go, well, yeah.
Circle of life.
The hunter is he's a hunter. That's what hunters do. It's an opportunity to explain things. Oh, did you check out the sweet Fu Manchu mustache on the hunter?
Yeah.
That was nice. Would you recommend Babar, after everything I've just said where I just said I would you guys recommend Babar to young parents, young children?
Yeah.
Mid-20s friends? This isn't not really one you could sit down and watch with a beer.
Not
Even
really.
Ironically.
But I feel like if I showed someone a picture of Babar, they'd understand what it is. But I've spoken to people, like I said, we were going to do this episode, and nobody knows who Babar is.
What?
Like
I don't believe that.
They don't know the name Babar. I think they would know.
Oh, I see what you mean. If you showed them a picture, they'd go, oh, Babar.
Yeah, well, they'd be like, oh, yeah, I know that.
Babar.
Yeah, Babar.
Yeah.
There is a little part of me that, okay, so if I'm... and this is... Well, no, actually, it's not the fault of this show, but because I was thinking it. But there is the part of me, though, that if they are... It's not so much people, not as such people of colour, but I would be hard pressed to show this to maybe like Native Americans and then not explain it.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Or do you know what I mean? Or
it does glorify that sort of heavily industrialized like Western society, like showing it to someone to like from China, you know, or like saying like that would be very different, you know, when they create a different style or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why can't they just be happy in their tribal state? But like, why do they have to be?
But it is elephants, so they're not. I don't get the feeling that they have actually oppressed anybody else in order to get there.
No, they were just dragged up by Europeans. Like half of those.
There we go. See, look, we're heading back into the colonialism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Had, you know, with the fact with the old white woman, the British white woman, or I think she's British.
She is British, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure she was originally French, but
they've been civilized.
Yeah, they were savages.
Finally,
before.
They were some trousers on.
Yeah.
Babar just comes back to his herd, and there's just a complete massacre, just like elephant's head on pikes and blood everywhere, and he just—that's why he's the last one.
Well, but he is when he does come back and he meets up with the herd again. They unanimously vote because he's been out amongst the humans and he is now more civilized and he has some wonderful civilizing ideas, and so they voluntarily place himself under him as king.
Mm-hmm.
Again, knocking onto the colonialism again. Like, oh, look, you're so wonderful. You should come and rule us.
Mm.
It's darker than I expected. Oh, Babar.
Yeah.
there's a lot going on here than I expected.
I think I prefer Paddington. Paddington does a better version of this sort of style thing than Babar has, I think. It flows.
But you mean Paddington the Home Invader?
Yeah. Not the modern stuff though, like the fact that he was a little bear and he came from the jungle.
Peru.
Yeah, the Peru, and he was already like, he liked Marmite. They made Marmite.
Paddington.
Marmalade.
Marmalade. Sorry, not Marmite.
Paddington the con artist, you mean?
He's not. Although saying that, watching the old... Oh, we got to do that at some point, though. Watching the old Paddingtons.
Well, yeah, it's on the list. They're on the list, just like every other hundreds and hundreds of bloody children's shows.
Paddington's
We're never going to finish. Just wait till we get to Rupert the Bear.
Oh.
I remember Rupert the Bear. I couldn't stand him.
No, I didn't either.
No.
So, Jennifer, I'm going to start with you.
Mm-hmm.
Give Babar a rating.
4.
4? I thought you liked Babar.
I did, but the more I've talked about it...
This is weird.
The more I'm...
You're beginning to be convinced by their philosophy.
Not entirely, 100%.
In a bizarre twist of events, I've actually given it more than Jennifer. I gave it a 4.5 because it is, on the surface at least, until now we've discussed it, I'm not entirely sure, but on the surface it's good kid fodder. It's happy.
It is good kid funny. I mean, you could read into any kid story. You could read anything into anything. So, yeah, I still give it 4 because it is a really good kids' TV show.
Yeah, so 4.4 from Jennifer, 4.5 from me. Jeremy?
10, because imperialism. Sorry.
So that's a 10 from Jeremy.
5. I don't think they made this show with even knowing about those views of the original books. And like we discussed, I believe that's probably the most likely outcome. But that the author wrote it because it was the times and because they were living in France. You know, like you're living in one of the 2 most powerful imperial countries in the world. Of course, your creative writing is going to be influenced somewhat about, especially because of Africa. You know, the way Africa was viewed back then. It just was. And
you write what you know.
At least they weren't promoting active racism. You know, they weren't being like, oh, just kill all the elephants because they're savages, or enslave them.
Well, that gives Babar a, surprisingly, at least to me, a rating of 4.5. That scored a lot higher than I was anticipating. And I thought I was going to give it the highest rating of 4.5. Thank you for disabusing that notion of me, Jeremy.
You're welcome.
If you're one of the few people left on the planet who haven't seen Babar, go and watch it. If you've got young kids, it's recommended by Serial Viewing. Yay, it's got the Serial Viewing stamp of approval.
We always cover these safe episodes, and they always end up being our shortest episodes. They're bite-sized ones.
Yeah.
There's not a huge amount to talk about, though, is there?
Maybe we should start consolidating them. Like, you know, talking about 1 or 2 of the safer episodes in one.
In one show. Well, we'll test that theory. Because our next episode, we'll be watching the British classic, The Clangers.
Yay! I wanted to watch The Clangers for so long.
The Soup Dragon.
So, hang on. So, remind me, Clangers is...
That's it.
Yep, right, brilliant. We might have to watch a couple of episodes, because if I remember correctly, they're not very long.
Yeah, they're very quick.
Now, The Clangers is one that you could watch chemically altered and get a lot out of.
Yes.
I think that's the best way to watch it, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
If you've never heard of The Clangers, then check it out before we watch. We will talk about it next time. We always watch the first episode, so I'm sure it's on YouTube or somewhere similar. If you have any strong opinions on anything we've spoken about, like neo-colonialism, on a show about baby elephant, please let us know. Instagram, Facebook, serialviewing.com. There's a couple of different ways to get in touch with us there. If you would like to support the show, we don't usually ask for this, but if you would like to support the show, you can find a link to Ko-fi on our website where you can buy us all a coffee, and we would appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Henry's bank account is crying because Podbean's mean.
This is expensive. The whole thing is expensive. I mean, my clothing, makeup allowance, Jeremy's alcohol rider.
My rider. And the psychedelics I have to indulge in to watch the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've paid for that blimp to fly over London. I mean, all this is expensive stuff. Jeremy's getting Jeremy's getting the Serial Viewing tattoo on his arse in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
The logo right there. Oh, did we decide on a brand or a tattoo?
Unfortunately, we could only hire the blimp out from 2 till 3 a.m. on a Tuesday night.
I'm okay with that. I'll be up there. I'll be in there on the microphone shouting.
You there! Watch Serial Viewing!
Oh, yeah, we could channel the Blues Brothers when they're driving around shouting at people. Anyway,
2 girls.
That's completely... It's ladies' night tonight at Serial Viewing. At the Palace Hotel and Showroom. Thank you very much for joining us. Check out Clangers, and we will see you next time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jeremy. Boop. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
Bye.
It's always a pleasure.